Welcome back, Better Agents. Nicholas Ayers coming to you live from Better Agency HQ. And in today's video, we're going to go through my methodology for creating content. This video will be perfect for anybody trying to get started with creating content for their agency, but they don't really know where to get started, how to think about it, and how to execute. In this video, you're going to learn about how I think about content so that you can rip and replicate. But first, if you haven't yet picked up your tickets to the Agency Success Conference here in Arizona, April 20th, 21st, and 22nd, 2023, then pick up your tickets today for you or anybody on your staff. It's going to be an incredible 3 days of sharing, learning, collaborating, networking. You're going to want to be there. You're going to want to bring key members of your team. You can pick up your tickets by clicking on the description down below or by visiting agencysuccessconference.com. I believe creating content is the best way for any company, any size, in any industry to build a brand and in turn build your company. It's with your content that people are going to become familiar with you when they see it all the time. It helps you build that local presence, that authority, that status. It shows people that you know what you're talking about, even if they don't always agree with you. There are three things I think about when creating content. First, I think about what sort of content should I be making. Then I think about how do I make that content? Where does it belong? Does it belong on a video? Does it belong on a website? Does it belong in written form or in text form? It doesn't really matter, but I need to think about how do I make that content? And then how do I push that content out? How do I get people to want to engage with that content? How do I get them to see the content? All of those things matter. It's what do I make? How do I make it? And how do I push people to actually see it? It's all of those things working together. If I just focus on one area, what content to make, but I don't think about how to push the content out, then I failed. It's all three categories working in unison. So what is content? Content's a very broad word. I think a lot of people that think about content, they think about the blogs or the articles that they see on traditional websites. And yes, that is content. That's a form of content, but so is the stuff that you post on Facebook, on your personal wall, or your business page. It's the stuff that you put on YouTube. It's the stuff that you put on a podcast. It's the stuff that you put on any platform, anywhere. It's the stuff that you put in your emails. All of that together is content. I don't want us to get pigeonholed on thinking that content has to be a certain way. It has to be a podcast. It has to be a blog page. It has to be a YouTube video. It can be all of those things. It can be one of those things, but that is what content is. Your content could be educational, your content could be motivational, your content can be newsworthy, but more than anything else, your content has to be interesting. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. They'll tell you the 7 different ways to clean out your gutters and winterize your home so that you avoid a claim, but that's not interesting. Does it deliver good information? Yes. Is it educational? Yes. But is it something that people actually care about? Does it help move the needle? No, it doesn't. Nobody cares about those things. So more than anything else, when you think about your content, you have to think about ways to make that content interesting. When I think about making content, I think about making my content fit one of 3 distinct buckets. I want every piece of content that I make to fit in a certain bucket. And these are my 3 buckets. These are the things that I think about when making content. And that first bucket is I want my perspective. I want my point of view. I want my opinion. Now, you might be watching this and you're saying, I don't know what my opinions are. I don't know what I think. I don't know what I believe. You need to form that opinion. You need to have a take. You need to be able to paint that picture of the best case scenario. What should it be for your agency? What should it be for your customers? What should it be for your community? That's how you need to go about it. When you have an opinion, creating content becomes a lot easier. You know the things to say because it's your opinion. You know the things to create. You know the things to write about. It's your opinion. Here's the thing about opinions. Everybody's got one, right? Everybody has an opinion. It's like your belly button. It doesn't necessarily mean it's any good. It could be full of junk, garbage, lint, all of the above, but it is something that everybody has. It doesn't necessarily have to be universally true or accepted or believable, but it does need to be your opinion, your take, your perspective. You need to know what it is that you think, what it is that you believe. You should make content that fits in your point of view bucket. How's this for an opinion or a hot take? You can create a content piece that says something like, go bankrupt in 15 minutes or less when you buy your insurance with Geico. Here's how. That's an opinion. That is something that is your perspective. Now, does everybody who buys insurance with Geico, do they go bankrupt? You and I know that's not the case, but you and I also know that there's a strong likely possibility that if people don't follow the advice of dealing with an independent agent, that they're left in the dust when things happen on a claim situation. And that is your perspective. That is the opinion that you're pushing out into the marketplace. The second bucket that I think about making content when I'm not making editorial content or point of view or perspective content, I'm thinking about making how-to content or hack content, how to do something, a hack to achieve a certain result. So this could be something that educates your audience, that brings information where there was no information before, or it's something that you know but your audience doesn't know and you want to teach them, because if they know this one thing, they're more likely to want to do business with you. So it could be how to cut your insurance premium in half by doing this one thing. It could be 3 ways to make sure that you never get a claim denied by doing this, that, or the other. This is educational in nature. It's not salesy. It's not pushing anything down people's throat. It's giving people good information that's interesting, that's something that's compelling to them, that is making them be curious about what it is that you're talking about. And the third bucket that I think about when I'm making content is the framework of the old way versus the new way. And in insurance, this is something that you can do all day long. What is the old way that people bought insurance? What is the old way that people dealt with an agent? What's the old way of doing something, and what's the new way? So it used to be that I had to go into an office, I had to sit down for 45 minutes and talk with my insurance agent, and we had to talk about the weather, we had to talk about their kids, we had to talk about the summer vacations. That was the old way of doing business. Now there's this new way where you can communicate with us in any form that's imaginable, whether it's your phone, whether it's your smart TV, whether it's your laptop, your tablet, your smartwatch, any of those things, right? There's old way and there's new way. You're showing people a compare and contrast of something that's new. Our brains automatically get compelled, or they're interested by new things. Shiny object syndrome is not something that insurance agents just face. It's something that every human faces. And so when you show them something that is new or interesting, our brain automatically goes, I want to learn about that, or that could be interesting. That could be something that helps me survive and thrive in this digital world, or this world in general. And so our brains are captivated by that. So when you're making content, think about something that is old that has been made new. That's a great bucket to think about when you're making content. Now, when it comes to content ideas, this can get something that could be a little bit tricky. There's a really quick, easy hack or how-to that I would encourage you to do, and that is to research what's already out there. See what information already exists, but more than that, when you see the information that exists, you're gonna see the information that doesn't exist. And when you find something that doesn't exist, make that piece of content, put it out in the marketplace. When you find something that does exist, something that somebody's already done, figure out a way that you can improve upon it, something that you can do that's better than that. Community Facebook groups can be a treasure chest of content ideas for you. You can go into these Facebook groups, and the bigger the better, but you're gonna find people who are largely uneducated, or they're living off of assumptions or bad information that they heard from someone's brother's cousin's roommate that has no idea what they're talking about. And they're gonna come in there, they're gonna talk about insurance, they're gonna ask questions about insurance, and these can be great resources for you to derive content from. Now, to run a little thought experiment, I went into my local neighborhood Facebook group that is rather large, has thousands of people in it, and I went to see what it is that people were talking about when it came to insurance. So I just did a simple search for the term insurance in the group, and here are some recent results that I came up with. This person says, all right, who does everyone go through for motorcycle insurance? Me and my boyfriend are getting motorcycles in the near future, but we keep getting quotes that are like $250 to $400 a month per bike. We're going to be getting Kawasaki Ninjas, and I'm getting the 400 and he's getting the Z400. So it's not like they're big bikes, but we really just need to find something that's under $200 per bike. I'm 22 and he'll be 25 in December. So I know insurance will go down for him if we wait till then. Now, you probably read through that or listened to me read that, and you're thinking, they have no idea what they're talking about. There are so many bad assumptions, bad information sprinkled throughout that entire post. There's probably 6 or 7 different content ideas that you can derive just from that. Namely, does insurance go down when I turn 25? Or what should motorcycle insurance cost? There's all kinds of little bits of information in there that you can make 3, 5, 7-minute videos, or you can write content pieces on, or you can make social posts about. This is a treasure chest of information. Here's another post from the exact same day when someone asked, what insurance would you all recommend for somebody that is almost 20 and just bought a sports car? They're giving you the titles of the content you should be making, the insurance that you need to get when you own a sports car. It's simple, it's clear. I know exactly what this content is about and something that I might want to engage in. Here's a personal favorite from just a couple days prior to these other posts. It says, thinking of switching car insurance companies, any suggestions? Currently paying $223 a month for 2 vehicles, 2 drivers, over 30 both with a perfect driving record. Ding! Full coverage, uninsured, underinsured, and maybe gap insurance, not totally sure. Ding! I feel like $223 is a lot. 1 car is paid off. Ding! We've been with the same insurance for a long time, and the crazy thing is that it goes up every time it gets renewed. Ding, ding, ding! Look, I don't need to keep going on. There's posts like that almost every single day in a lot of different Facebook groups. I'm telling you that if you want to do research, try to figure out what it is that people are thinking about, what they're asking about, what is validating to them, then use community Facebook groups, whether it's for your community or whether it's for a niche industry. If you're in the B2B space or in the commercial line space, you can find the things that people are talking about where they have no idea what they're talking about, and you can educate them. You can give them the point of view videos or the content. You can give them the hacks or how to, or you can give them something that's the old way versus new way. You can put stuff in that bucket. You can reframe content in a way that's compelling, that's interesting, and that answers the questions that people have. Whenever somebody has a really good idea for their content strategy, the next inevitable questions that they always ask is, how do I make the content? Or how do I distribute the content? How do I make content that people actually want to engage in? How do I put it in front of them so that it's visible and that they know it exists? There are 3 things that I think about that will kill any results that you ever try to achieve. Number 1, it's worrying about the platforms. If you're worrying about being perfect on the platforms or worrying about all the different platforms and the ad nauseum that comes with this login, that login, how to distribute to this audience or that audience, you're going to kill your results. You're not going to be consistent. The next thing is trying to be perfect. I'm making this video. I don't know how long it's going to be after it's edited, but I can tell you right now, as I record this video, I'm about 30 minutes in, and I probably got another 15 to 20 minutes of recording time to go through before I edit it down. I'm not worried about being perfect in these shots. I'm just trying to make sure that I get the content out that's digestible, that's easy. If you think about being perfect, or you think about executing at a very high level consistently, perfectly, you're going to kill all the results that you have. Don't worry about making it polished. Worry about making it authentic first. That's the first thing that you need to do with all of your content. It needs to be real. It needs to be authentically you. I'm weird. I'm high energy. I do all this stuff with my hands. I talk fast, but that's how I always talk. I tell people all the time, it's like an accent. That's perfectly fine. For you, you need to find your true voice. You need to be authentic before you ever worry about being perfect. And the third thing that will kill any result, regardless of how you distribute the content or how you distribute the content, is not having enough patience. You'll make one piece of content, you'll push it out there, you'll email it maybe to your smaller audience, or you put it on social media, and then you'll wonder why you don't have 50 leads immediately, why people aren't lining up the door to want to do business with you. That's not how it works. You gotta be patient. It's a cumulative effect of making content. That is how you're gonna get ahead, by being patient, by being consistent, by not worrying about the platform that you post on necessarily, just making sure that your customers see it and trying to be perfect rather than authentic. Remember this, when you have an opinion, you'll always know what to say. When you have an opinion, you're always gonna know where to put it. You're always gonna be able to do the research and know where it is that people are gonna digest the information that you're trying to put out there. But it starts by having a passionate opinion, knowing what it is that you wanna say, because when you know what it is that you wanna say, then you'll know how to deliver it. You'll know where to deliver it. You'll know how to operate with wisdom and intelligence, all the things that I typically don't possess, but you will possess. So make sure you stay consistent, you stay patient, and you do your research. If you have any questions, comment down below. Let me know where you're struggling when it comes to your content creation. I'd love to be a resource for you. Make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you again on the next video.